So loyalty challenge cards can be very powerful. On the other hand, it could be a waste because your opponent may already have one of those. So you have to be very careful when you play the loyalty challenge card. Do you wait? Like right now, maybe he's got another block here that he could play to match that. So maybe I want to wait a little bit further and play it later in the battle rather than early in the battle. Because if I play it early in the battle, chances are he's going to match it. Because I know my opponent's got 2 more cards left. Maybe I don't want to play that one now. So for the sake of this battle, we're not going to play the loyalty challenge. We'll just hold on to it. Now, at this state, the impact score is 3-1 in favor of Ishida, and Tokugawa is yet to play a card. So now it's Tokugawa's turn to play because they're behind in the impact. So here's what they're going to do. We are going to play, look at my blocks here, make sure I do this right. We are going to play this card. Now again, you got to be careful when you play a card because you don't know if your opponent has a loyalty challenge card. So now I've got a choice. Do I play my strongest block here or do I play my second strongest block? So in this case here, we're going all in. We're going to go ahead and play this one. Now this is a 3-mon block, so we add 3 to the track. Then we get a bonus. You add +1 more for each block that has a matching mon that has been previously deployed in that battle. Previously we deployed this leader that has the same mon as this guy, so now we get another +1, and so now the score is 5-3. Does that make sense to everyone? So by playing more cards of the same faction, you up the risk, the danger of loyalty challenge cards played against you. But on the other hand, you can have a lot more impact by playing more blocks of the same faction than by mixing it up. Well, at this stage of things, the Ishida faction has no more cards to play, so they will simply say, "I pass. We're done." Now, the Tokugawa player could, call it quits at this point, and he's going to win the battle. Or he can continue to play cards to deploy more blocks. Now, why would you want to do that? Because of how casualties are doled out. The loser of the battle will always lose 1 block. They will lose 1 additional block for every 7 impacts scored against him. So if I can score 2 more impact with Tokugawa, then Ishida is going to lose 2 blocks here. So fortunately, I actually have a card to do that. I'm going to reveal this card to reveal this block. And that gives me 2 more impact, gets me to the 7. So not only is Ishida going to lose the 1 block for losing the battle, but they're going to lose 2 blocks now because of the 7 impacts scored against them. Now let's say I got the impact up to 13. Well, it's in multiples of 7, so until I get to 14, he won't lose the 3rd block. So if I by some miracle got the impact up to 14, he would lose 1 block for losing the battle, 1 block for the first 7, 1 block for the second 7 impacts scored against him. So in this particular battle, Ishida is going to lose 2 blocks. Losses must come from blocks deployed to battle. So this block is going to go to the destroyed blocks window and is out of the game permanently, as well as that leader. If more damage was doled out, then the blocks that were not committed to battle could be chosen. Loyalty card does not cancel a loyalty card. Sorry. The only way to stop a loyalty card is by revealing a card that has a mon matching the mon of the block whose loyalty was challenged. Okay, at the end of a battle, you're going to redraw cards based on the outcome of that battle. And here's how card replenishment works. Both sides are going to lose 1 block for every 7 impact delivered by their opponent. So what's going to happen is we already doled out our damage. Then both sides discard. Okay, we already doled out all of our damage here. Both sides discard all cards used in battle and redraw an equal number. So Ishida dealt 1 card to the battle, so that's going to discard, and they will draw 1 replacement. And that would also apply to any loyalty card played in that battle, by the way. Tokugawa played 2 cards to the battle, so they get to discard their 2 cards deployed to the battle and redraw 2 cards. So their card count is not down. And by the way, the phasing player decides the order in which battles are doled out. So say you have cards, really good cards for a particular battle. You might want to fight that one first and see what you redraw for other battles that you moved into. Yes, one side has more loyalty cards. If I remember right, Tokugawa has 4 loyalty cards in their deck, and Ishida has 3. So you basically redraw a number of cards equal to the number of cards you played for that battle. Then you also draw 1 card for every 2 blocks that you lost in that battle. Now, Tokugawa didn't lose any blocks, so he's okay. Ishida lost 2 blocks, so he gets to draw 1 card. So now Ishida's card count has actually changed a little bit there. So yeah, they lost the battle, lost their blocks, but now they've recovered a little bit because they've been able to draw an additional card there. So that's how the cards are replenished. Then the loser has to retreat, and in this case here, he's going to retreat back to his castle area there. And the cube will then adjust back to Tokugawa control. And that is the end of the Tokugawa part of that turn. Anyone have any questions on battle? Okay, what happens if a block switches sides? Does it get eliminated if original side wins? Okay, if a block switches sides, it will immediately go back to his opponent's control after the battle's over, assuming it survives. It could be used as a casualty. But if it survives the battle, it will go back to his opponent after that. Good question. The number of mons on a card don't have to match the number of blocks. Here's what this card does, okay? I don't have a lot of these deployed on the map. Let me take a couple of these out. Let's just imagine for a moment that last battle there was a couple of these Mori faction blocks in there. If I were to play this card, it's a double card, which allows me to deploy 2 blocks at once. So I deploy this block here for 3 impact. Let's say that's my first card. Okay, that's 3 impact, and then I play the second one. I deploy the second block for 3 more impact plus 1 because I've already played a Mori faction card, so that's actually a total of 7 impact with 1 card. That's what the double Mon symbol cards are for. The number of Mons on the card do not have to match the number of Mons on the block deployed. The double Mon cards just allow you to throw 2 blocks at once into the battle for bigger impact. And then if loyalty is challenged, you only, okay, say I played this and they challenge loyalty, okay, I reveal this card here, okay, both blocks are safe from the loyalty challenge. And the loyalty challenge card then is wasted. Except you would draw a replacement for that loyalty challenge card. Let me explain what these Mori blocks are for in this box here. Basically, these guys can be brought onto the map at Osaka on a 1-for-1 basis whenever the Ishida player discards one of his cards. He can do it at any time. He can discard one of his cards and place one of these blocks into Osaka. The leader has to be the last of these Mori blocks deployed. But again, be careful about that because, you know, if you discard all 4 cards and put 4 of these down, you're going to have a card count differential that you're going to have to deal with in the game. So you have to do this, you know, kind of gradually and carefully. All right, let's go ahead and take the Ishida faction here, and let's do a minimum move here and see if we can't accomplish a nifty battle situation. Now, I'm trying to set up a siege situation here. Don't really have a good siege situation at present. But let's go ahead and try this anyways. We're going to go just do a minimum move, and that will allow us to... let's go ahead and take this stack here and just move them 1. See, it would be a dangerous thing to engage in battle with this stack here because there's only 1 card that controls any blocks. So at this point, I would just move the 1 in here and take the cube. So, and then I would stop and no battle this turn. So that is the end of the weekly cycle. We've done an A turn and a B turn. Now here's what happens. start of the next cycle, what you do, the first thing you do is each player discards half of their hand, rounded down. So if you have 5 cards, you discard 2 of your cards. All right. In this case, each player has 4 cards. You discard your half of your hand. So let's say for Tokugawa, we discard that one, and that one will hang on the other 2. And then you draw 5 more. So he's going to go ahead and draw 5. And this is no good because now he knows that all of his loyalty cards have been drawn at this point, and it's very early in the game. So he's going to have to play very, very carefully with this. And then similarly, Ishida has to discard down. Let's go ahead and discard this one. And by the way, there is not an equal number of each mon symbol. There is not an equal number for each faction. New players would do well to look at their card decks and see which factions have a greater preponderance of cards, because that will help you in deciding what cards to discard from your hand. So he went ahead and discarded, and in the Vassal module, if you open up your hand window, you can actually just click a button to draw these. Okay, so they've drawn their 5 cards. Now once that's been done, you're all set for the start of your next weekly cycle. Then each player, now whoever controls the most castles, let me go back a second, whoever controls the most castles actually gets to draw a bonus card. So in this case, Tokugawa has 5 castles under their control, so they are going to get a bonus draw there. And then whoever has the most cubes is going to get a bonus recruitment pull. In this case, I believe they're both tied at 3 cubes apiece. No, check that. Ishida's got 1, 2... and Tokugawa's got 1, 2, 3. So actually, Tokugawa's going to get 3 pulls from their draw pile into their reinforcement boxes, or recruitment boxes, rather. And same thing with Ishida is going to get just the 2 as marked on the turn track. Okay, and now we go ahead and we bid for initiative. Initiative doesn't not important here as far as the Ishida player is concerned. From my perspective, I wouldn't say it's an important thing. Tokugawa's got a tough call here. If you go ahead and bid a loyalty card, you might be revealing to your opponent that you're holding a loyalty card. So it might not be a good idea to reveal one here. So in this case, maybe just reveal this card here. And so Tokugawa wins on a 2-to-1 on the initiative. So we discard both of those.